your instructor for this class. For anyone who's taken these sessions before, we've offered them the pass. This will work similar to that. How it'll work is that I'll give you all a few minutes to answer the question, and then I'll go over how to solve it in detail. Um, so we're gonna start with question one, and I've gotten really high scores on SATs in the past, math section. So I mean I've been on this page for a few minutes now, so I'm assuming you all already have this solved, but I'll give you. So starting with question one, it says a group of students voted on five after-school activities. The bar chart shows the number of students who voted for each of the five activities. How many students chose activity three? So we go to activity three, go up, and we see it's right here, right below 40, so that would be 39. So answer choice B. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to mention, all of these questions are from an official SAT test that they've given in the past. So, for anyone wondering where these questions are from. Question two. Okay, so for question two, what percentage of 300 is 75? So what you'd have to do is just put into your calculator 75 over 300. This would get us a total of 0.25, which if we multiply by 100 to get into a percentage, so 0.25 times 100 gets us 25%. So answer choice A. Another way you can look at it pretty easily, because these answer choices are pretty spaced apart, is that half of 300 is 150 or 150. So 75 is less than 150. So it has to be less than 50%, which automatically rules out the other answer choices. So yeah, question three. Okay, so for question 3, we have to find x. So in order to do that, we just multiply both sides by the denominator, so times 25 times 25. These two cross out, so we get x squared equals 36 times 25. We can plug that into our calculator. So we have 36 times 25, which is equal to 900. So 36 times 25 is 900, which we just take the square root of both sides then. So we get x is equal to the square root of 900, which is 30. Answer is B. Or if your calculator doesn't really support square roots, you can obviously just do 900 to the 1/2, because 1/2 just means square root. If it was 1/3, it would mean cube root, etc., etc. So the answer is 30. Question 4.
If any of you have any questions, you can always raise your hand. We will allow you to unmute yourself.
Okay, so for question 4, 3 more than 8 times the number x is equal to 83. So we know that it must equal 83, and we know that 3 more than 8 times the number x. So we have 8 times the number x, and we have 3 more than that, so plus 3 is equal to 83. So answer choice D. 8x plus 3 equals 83. Okay. 5. Okay, so question 5. I deposit a fixed amount into our bank each month. We have a function, 100 plus 25t gives the amount in the bank account after t monthly deposits. So t monthly deposits means that t is the total number of deposits that she did. So that means that 25 must be how much she deposited every month, and 100 must be the initial amount that was in her bank account. So what is the best impersonation of 25? Well, with each monthly deposit amount in her bank account increased by 25. Yes, that is correct. Before she made any monthly deposits, no, the initial is 100, not 25. After one monthly deposit, well, no, because it would be 100 plus 25 times 1, which would be 125, not 25. And an animate total of 25. No, T is the number of deposits. It is 25 is how much you deposit each time. So the correct answer is A. Okay, question 6. Okay, so question 6. A customer spent $27 to purchase oranges at 3 per pound. How many pounds of oranges did the customer purchase? So we know that they spent $27 in total. So the final cost would be 27, and it's $3 per pound. So we're going to write 3 times P equals 27. How many pounds did they buy? Divide both sides by 3, and we get 27 over 3, which is 9. So the correct answer is 9. Okay, question 7. Okay, so for question 7, we know that a person bought 9 storage bins that were the same price. So we have 9 times X, where X is the price of the storage bins. They used a coupon for $63 off the entire purchase. So we subtract $63 from the original price of the bins. The cost for the entire purchase after using the coupon was $27. So this equals 27. What is the original price in dollars for one storage bin? In that case, we just have to do uh, add 63 to both sides, which would just be 90 is equal to 9x. Divide both sides by 9, and we get x is equal to 10. So the price for one storage bin is $10. Okay, question 8. Okay, so question 8. For a linear function f, the table shows 3 values of x, the corresponding values of f of x, which equation defines f of x. We have 3 values, so we know that for a function, we have y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the intercept. So the intercept is when x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, we have b of 29, so we have plus 29 equals y equals mx plus 29. So get rid of these two. And then for a slope, when we go from 0 to 1, we increase x by 1 and we increase y by 3. So our slope would be 3x plus 29, which is interest A. And then from 1 to 2, go up 1 and we go up 3. Just to check. So interest is M. Question 9. Okay, so for question 9, we got 2 right triangles, and we're given that angle P corresponds to angle S, Measure of angle Q is 18. So Q and T are matching angles. What is the measure of angle S? So in this case, uh, these triangles should have the same angle measures for corresponding angles. So this would be 18. Right angles are always 90. And we know that the angles in a triangle always add up to 180. So we have 180 is equal to X, where X is the angle P and the angle S, plus 90 plus 18. So we just do 180 minus 90 minus 18. So 180 minus 90 is 90. And then 90 minus 18 is 72. It's equal to the measure of the angle. So the correct answer is B. Okay, question 10. Okay, so for question 10, we have a scatter plot between X and Y, which I find is the most appropriate linear model for it is shown. So there we go. That seems to match the points decently well. So this case, we have the intercepts left and the slopes on the right. So the slope is negative. So this is a positive slope. You can rule that out. And this is a positive slope. You can rule that out. So these two have negative slopes. And well, the y-intercept is between 9 and 10. So the correct answer is D. 0.9 would be an intercept like right here, which I don't know if that line, I don't know how you draw that line, so that is uh, a linear model that matches the data. So correct answer is D, 9.4 minus 0.96. Okay, question 11. Okay, so question 11, 2.5b plus 5r is equal to 80 is the equation we're given. And we're told that they cater for 16 reptiles on a given day. How many birds can you care for? So we have 2.5b plus 5 times 16 equals 80. So in that case, um, 5 times 16 is 90. No, it's 80. Uh, 5 times 16 is 80. Plus 2.5b is equal to 80. So in that case, subtract 80 from both sides and we get 2.5b is equal to 0. Divide by 2.5 and we get b is equal to 0. So the number of birds that the store can care for if they're caring for 16 reptiles is 0 for industry standard. Question 12. Okay, so for question 12, which is an equation of the graph shown, well, we have an intercept at -8, so all these integers work. And then for our slope, we have a negative slope. So this has a positive slope, and this has a positive slope. So it's between -2x and -x. And then for the graph, these markers are spaced 2 apart, and the same thing goes for our y. So our slope would just be when x increases by 1, how much does y decrease by? So we have 1 right here, which is right here, which y decreases from -8 to -9, which would be just -1x, and the intercept is negative. So we have -x minus 8, because the 1 is the part. So correct answer is C. 2, we have 10. So the correct answer is C. Okay, 13. Okay, so for question 13, we have if x over 8 equals 5, what is the value of 8 over x? So we have x over 8 is 5, multiply both sides by 8 to cross out the denominator, and we get x is equal to 8 times 5 is 40. So now it asks what is the value of x over 8, or 8 over x? So that would just be 8 over 40, which if we simplify is just 1 over 5. So correct answer is 1/5. You could have also entered 0.2. These are both correct answers that are accepted on the test. Okay, question 14. Okay, so for question 14, I would recommend you graph this to solve it. I'm going to solve it manually first before I graph it, but I would recommend you graph this instead of solving it manually. If we solve it manually, though, we just do 24 minus 6. So 24 minus 6 is 18. Y minus y is just going to be 0. And then we have 48 minus 72, which is negative 24. So divide both sides by 18 and we get x is negative 24 over 18. And now we can plug in to solve for y. So solve for y, we just do 6 times negative 24 over 18, which Again, this is why I would not recommend solving this manually. I'd recommend just graphing it. But if we do 6 times -24/18, we get -8 plus y equals 72. If we add 8 to both sides, we get y is equal to 80. So the correct answer should be 80, and we're going to graph it to check our answer. So we have 24x plus y equals 48. So your first function, 24x plus y equals 48. And the second function is 6x plus y equals 72. So y equals 80 is the intersection right here. X is -1.3 and y is 80. So we got the same answer from both graphing it and solving it manually. Would I recommend solving it manually? No, but it is an option. Question 15. Okay, so for question 15, we have a slope of -1/3 and passes through the point 9, 10, which equation defines line t. Well, we know the slope is -1/3. So that rules out some of the answers immediately. This is 13, this is not, so we've seen D left. And well, it puts us through the point 9, 10. So we have a y value of 10 when x is 9. And we have a slope value that is non-zero. That means at the intercept, the y value cannot possibly be 10 at x equals 0. So the answer can't really be C. The answer has to be D. But we can also just work backwards from the slope. So if we have x equals 9 and we have to get to 0, that's 9 that we have to go up by. So -1/3 times 9 gets us 9/3, which is just -3. So from 0 to 9, we go down 3. So if we want to go from 9 to 0, we have to go up 3. So we just do 10 plus 3, which is equal to 13. So the same answer is D. Okay, question 16. Okay, so for question 16, we got a function, and the function models the value in dollars of a certain bank account by the end of each year from 1957 to 1972. Nothing else matters because we're just looking at what f of 5 is approximately equal to 243. What does this mean? So 5 is the number of years after 1957. So 1957 plus 5 gets us 1962. So in the year 1962, we have $243 in the bank account. So answer choice A says $5 greater than 1962. No. Answer choice B says the value of the bank account is approximately $243. Yes. So answer choice B. The value of the bank account is estimated approximately 5 times greater. Nope. And value of the bank account is estimated to increase by $243 every 5 years. Nope. We're just asked, what does f of 5 mean? Which is just the value of the bank account in 1962. Okay, question 17. Okay, question 17. We have a ratio 35 to 10. That's the ratio of length to width. So in this case, width times 3.5 is equal to the length. So if we have 10 for the width, the length would be 35. So if the width increases by 7, so if W increases by 7, how much must the length change to maintain this ratio? So we just do 7 times 3.5, which gets us 24.5. And it says it increases by 7. So the length must also increase. So it increases by 24.5. So correct answer is B. Okay, question 18. Okay, question 18. Got two squares, square P and square Q. So one square P and one square that's bigger called Q. Now we know that square Q's perimeter is 176 inches greater than the perimeter of square P. So we know that P has a side length of X. So in that case, the perimeter of P, which is before X, and for Q, the perimeter is 176 inches greater. So we have Q, it's just before X, plus 176. So we have that much. Now we need to find uh, the side lengths for square Q. So in this case, we'll just divide the perimeter by 4 because it's square, so all of have the same size. So 4x plus 176. We're just going to divide that by 4. That gets us x plus 176 divided by 4 should be 44. So the side length for square Q is just x plus 44 for each of the sides. And then it asks us, function f gives us the area in square inches. So which defines f. So for area, you just do the side length squared. For a square, for a square, you just square the side length. So in this case, it would just be x plus 44 squared, which is interesting. Okay, 19. Okay, question 19. We have equation, and we have to solve for W. So in this case, divide both sides by 2, so that's a plus. Divide both sides by 2, so 14x over 7y divided by 2. So this would just get us, well, if you divide by 2, you're just multiplying the denominator by 2. Alternatively, you could just divide the numerator by 2, but this gets us 14 over 14x y. Alternatively, you can just write 7 over 7xy. Depends on how you learned it. But 14 over 14xy, these two cancel out. So we're just left with x over y equals square root of w plus 19. Then all we have to do is just square both sides. So we have x over y squared equals w plus 19. Subtract 19 from both sides, and we get x over y squared plus or minus 19 equals w. So x over y squared minus 19 equals w. Uh, this one you multiply the numerator by 2, and this one you also multiply the 2. Okay, question 20.
Pushpa, once we finish this question, we will end the session. Okay?
Okay, so for question 20, we have the center of the circle is point O. Measure of angle RS is 100 degrees. So we have a circle, have R, then S here. And what is the measure of the associated angle ROS? Well, if RS is 100 degrees, then ROS is also 100 degrees because O is in the center of the circle. If it was outside the circle, this would be a very difficult problem, but because it is the center of the circle, it's just the same. So the correct answer is 100.
Pushpa, Fernando had some questions. Oh,
Hello,
Fernando,
I have a question.
Uh,
Is this only on Fridays?
yes, yes. This
Okay.
time we have the classes on Fridays from 4:30 to 5:30 Houston time.
Okay.
that's everything. I think that's the end of the class.